See me walking in my purpose on purpose, trying to let these young boys know it's worth it. These demons be lurking, traumatized by the crimes over time, but my mind keep me hungry and thirsty. My soul can't be purchased. Remember times when I was weak, you catch me crying in my sleep. Long nights, no lies, and no heat, but watch me rise to my feet without that iron or that heat. Watch how I grind to get me peace, and I shall find, cause I'm gon' see. It seems it's time to say my piece.
So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. So I'm walking in my purpose on purpose. On purpose.
So today with us on Stool Talk, we have with us a special guest, man. This person right here we have on today, man, goes way back, a long way back, man, from elementary to junior high to high school, man. A great man. I done a lot of interviews recently, and this name has came up. A lot of quotes has been coming up since you went at your program. These are some of the things I've been hearing about this guest we have. We got a gym, a great hire, something special, exciting. Let's go, the GOAT. Greatness. A lot of people is really happy with the new hire. We have with us the one, the only Mr. Dennis Springs. How you doing today?
Man, life is good, bro, man. I appreciate you having me, man. I've
Yeah,
been hearing
man.
good things, good things. Kent told me he had a good time on here. Boss
Yeah,
told me he had a good time
yeah,
on here. So, yeah, I'm
yeah,
excited to
yeah.
be here, bro.
And shout out B Barton too, man, for this. Shout out B Barton too as well, man.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean it's so much to cover, but we'll get right back into the thick of things, man. With your sports journey, man, you've been college, you've been pros, you've been all over. Did you always know that you was gonna coach? Where did this coaching thing come in at?
You know what, man? I had no idea, but when I came back from playing overseas, and when I finished my last season, I reached out to Keaton Wyatt, who was over at Scott coaching at the time, and I wanted to go back home and coach with the Bulldogs at that time. And they had a junior high coaching position open, but they didn't have anything at the high school level. So I was just trying to get in any way I could. Keaton let me coach the 7th and 8th graders over at Robinson. And man, I enjoyed it so much, bro, that just the teaching the fundamentals and the basics to
Yeah.
the kids in the community, bro. I enjoyed it so much, man, that it just stuck. I didn't know that I was going to continue to do it. And I'm in my 15th year now.
Yeah. How do you think your experience as a player influenced you as your coaching and your style?
You know what, man? I feel like being a player and being a coach is two different things. It's a little bit harder to be a coach because you're trying to teach things that you really not is really not in your expertise. Like big man, I had to do my research and kind of reach out to some bigs that help to teach me what they knew so that I can teach the other guys. So it's different being in the seat than on the court. But
Yeah.
at the same time, man, you do your homework. You don't got to be a basketball player to be a good coach. You do your homework, man. I think you can excel at coaching for sure.
Yeah. What's some key lessons that you learned? You coach junior high, you coach high school, you coach at the collegiate level. What are some things that you have learned coaching on all different levels?
Patience, man. That's the main thing. You got to be patient. Sometimes coaches expect perfection, and basketball is definitely an imperfect sport, man. The pace of the game is too fast for it to be perfect. As coaches, we always want it to be perfect, but it's just patience and understanding that the kid and their kids, man, they're gonna make some mistakes. And once you get that in their head that you're not gonna pull them out for making a mistake, and you understand that mistakes are gonna happen, they gravitate to you and they start running through walls for you. So that's the biggest thing that I learned as a coach is to be patient with my guys.
Yeah, as someone who's played at the highest level, how do you implement winning and to allow your players to see that you know what you're talking about and that you have been there, done that, by showing them the game because you've been through it all on every different level at the highest level.
Um, Bro, the luxury that I got right now, man, is that I can still play a little bit.
Yeah,
So I know eventually it's gonna leave, and I'm not sure how I handle it when it leaves. But in the preseason, when we playing open gyms, I'll be right out there playing with them. And I be giving them the business still, man. So when I'm out there playing, and then there's a lot of stuff on Google too that they can go and look at, and then there's a lot of parents that already kind of know my journey that kind of fill the kids in before I get there. So I haven't really had the issue of trying to rally the troops. The troops has already been rallied when I when I came into my position.
Yeah. How do you balance the pressures of coaching with personal development as making sure your players are cool physically, mentally, and just buying into what you're, teaching?
Honestly, bro, I got one of the best assistant coaches that you could ever ask for at this current time in my career. You remember Mike Cavanaugh?
Yeah,
Mike
yeah,
Cavanaugh from Scott. He my assistant coach, man. He the perfect balance to what I do because I'm more of a, I kind of get after him, but Mike is that balance that can reel him back in.
yeah,
When it comes to that player development, man, he is special when it comes to training and doing all of that stuff. And then I can teach, the game, but he can teach the development part. So I got the luxury of having a phenomenal assistant coach with me right
yeah.
now.
What advice would you give aspiring basketball players who hope to follow in your footsteps as going to college, going professional, and just taking it to a whole nother level? Because like when we were younger, I seen a lot of people saying you had a love for basketball that was like no other. The hard work you put in,
Mm-hmm.
you practice, you practice, you practice, you worked on your game, you worked on your game, and to see what it, did for your career.
Yeah. So that's the main thing, bro. I just tell my players if you want it, man, you gotta work for it. If it was easy, everybody would do it. That's the old saying. I tell them the stories about me walking up and down Freeman Street with my basketball all day long. If my daddy wouldn't move the car off the basketball court, I'd be dribbling the ball up and down the street all day. Um, and that's one thing about my players right now. I shut down the gym last week because we were supposed to start workouts last week, and we had, probably 80% of the guys not show up. So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to light a fire under them to tell them that you get out of this game what you put in for sure.
Reflecting on your journey from playing college and the pros, what would you say has been the most rewarding aspect of your basketball career? Because you don't really talk about it, you humble, but we all know because we watched you, we cheered for you, and we seen what you did.
Um, I would say the most special part of my basketball journey right now is watching my daughter play, bro. And she's in the gym with me. She watches me play all the time. She still watches me in men's leagues. And right now, watching my daughter play is the most special part of basketball that I have ever experienced. It's that proud feeling that you get when she go down for a layup and get a bucket on all boys. She a second grader right now, and she a bucket right now.
And
But
that was
I'm sorry,
I
go ahead.
had that I had that at the end, but since you
Yeah.
touching on yeah, I watched the video, seeing you go have her shoot, go to spots, and you see that she's getting better and better and putting it in. Like,
Mhm.
what approach do you feel like you're going to take on her that your dad may have took on you, depending because it's the generations and it's a new year. Like, how is the approach going to be with that, with you training and getting after her?
It's a different approach, man. My dad, man, as you know, man, I have phenomenal parents, bro. My mom and dad, great. My dad wasn't a teacher of basketball, but my dad was definitely one that'd get out there and play with me every day
Yeah,
and beat me all the time and gave me that push to keep playing. So he wasn't a teacher, but he was a great father figure, a great dad that always did whatever I needed, got me whatever I needed, played with me whenever I wanted to play with him. Now with me in Denver, we more of like the teaching part of it. Like we in the gym, we running around cones, we working on our ball handling, we working on shooting, doing things like that. So it's actually a different approach, but I'm still taking the love that my dad gave me and still giving it to her at the same time.
yeah. Did she got that competitive nature like you?
Bruh, cry whenever she lose. If she walk out of there with 6 points, she upset. She getting
Ah,
in the dribbling the ball in the garage at 6:30 in the morning, and she over here. You know what I mean? She
yeah.
she got she got it, man. She
Yeah,
got it.
and you briefly described, but can you give us an overall view? What does family mean to you, and what is family meaning to you to show for as far as for Denver and even for the young youth that's watching this? How important is it to have that family support and that push?
Mhm. So, as I said before, the family support has always been there in my immediate internal family, the Springs family, the Wade family. That support has always been there. And then when we talk about family support now with my immediate family, with my wife and my
Yeah,
kids, bro, it means everything to me. Once I got married and things just immediately changed about my thoughts of what a family should be, because for a long time it was me and just my two daughters. But then when I got married, then she really showed me, what it is to be a cohesive family unit. And it meant everything to me, bro.
Yeah. So how is it balancing being a dad, being a husband, being a coach, and even, maintaining your sanity, maintaining your focus, having a space where you can remain charged up because you pour into your students, you pour into
Mhm.
your family, you provide for your family. Like, how is that? What's the adjustment with that?
It ain't easy, bro. It ain't easy. If you ask my wife right now, how does she feel about being a basketball wife? She gonna tell you straight up, I hate it. But she also gonna tell you that, but she know that's me. She know that's what keep me sane. She know that's what, that's where my peace is. So
Yeah.
she'll tell you right away, she hate being a basketball wife, but she support me 100%. She
Yeah.
don't miss games. She always support me. She let me do me, man. And that's really important, man, because I've heard horror stories about coaches trying to balance family and coaching at the same time. And honestly, I was nervous about that. But she, from the beginning, from jump, she said she know this is me. She knew what she was getting into. And, she let me kind of do me in that aspect of my life. So
Yeah, that's beautiful because that's definitely needed. And the horror stories we done heard, and we even seen some of the coaches that was coaching, being that they wasn't doing the right thing, and you different and you doing the right
mhm.
thing. Just to see, even to be a part of you building young men, building characters, building a program. What strategies do you think you're going to employ for maintaining success, building a program, and continuing with it?
um, Well, I would say definitely I want to start from the ground up. I need to start hitting these third. Me and my assistant coach is trying to get the third through fifth grade AAU going in that Sylvania community where I'm coaching at, so that we can get them coming up and not run into the Catholic schools when it's time to go to high school. We want to start building our program from the elementary schools up. I think that's the way to maintain success. And then of course winning cures everything, man. You could keep those students there in the district and we keep winning, then the
Yeah.
players gonna stay. So I think that again, man, I want to start building it from the ground up, starting at the elementary, junior high levels. Um, but I do think we got the ability to sustain success, man, because we got some talent out there. And then we had the season that we had this past season, they
Yeah.
all excited about staying, and the parents are excited about, man, my dog peeing in the front yard. He know he ain't supposed to be doing that. My bad. Yeah, man. So I think the opportunities to sustain success is definitely something that we can make happen out there.
Yeah, because you building and developing young men with great teamwork and camaraderie as well. How was it as they took you in the Cougar Nation? I mean, because everybody was happy for you because you were a great coach, and these other schools want to pass on you. That's on their choice. You know where all our hearts at, but we still support
Right.
you as a man. But just seeing how the whole community, like I said, these parents that I'm interviewing, the young girls out there, I tell them I know you
Mhm.
were talk about basketball and they just it's a whole new thing that you got going on. How was that when you first started?
All right, so let's address the elephant in the room real quick. So I ain't gonna say a lot of coaches passed on me. The Bulldogs wanted me, man, and they reached out to me,
Okay.
and eventually I do want to go home and I do want to coach there. But as me and you both know, when you go to Scott, it's way more than just coaching, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta be a dad, you gotta be a taxi cab, you gotta be allowance, feed them, and do all of that. And honestly, being a newlywed, and in addition to being a newlywed, um, I also got three young children. I got a 11-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 8-year-old.
yeah.
I just didn't have the time that those kids deserved over there at Scott. So, shout out to Scott, man. They tried their best to get me over there. And then when I did my interview at Southview, it just felt right because I knew that, coaching was going to be the main part of my job and not all of the other stuff that we would have to deal with in those lower income communities at this time, in my life. But to answer your question, when I went over, man, the parents was so receptive, bro. You will be shocked at how many of our peers kids are playing right now. You remember Miss Offenberg from Scott, if you
Yeah.
remember her.
Yeah.
Her son was a senior this year at Southview.
Wow.
Jay March's son played for me at Southview.
Okay.
So it was a lot of parent support. The parent support was something that like I ain't never seen before when it come to coaching, bro. Even Mike Kavanaugh was shocked, bro. I mean, I didn't have to do our banquet stuff. They all stepped up. Um, I didn't have to do a lot of the business part of it. I didn't have to do because the parents all stepped up and took care of it for us.
Yeah. And my little cousin over there too,
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. I was definitely gonna get to that for
Yeah,
sure.
so just
Man,
just to
that
see
dude.
his development and knowing that he in good hands, man, because that's what's definitely needed. And now, all eyes is gonna be on you and your team. What approach are y'all gonna take? Because y'all gonna be the hunted now. Teams are gonna be after y'all. How do you maintain your team for not getting a big head, but continue to work to get better?
So that's part of the reason why I shut down the gym last week. I felt like their head was kind of getting a little inflated last week. When I say it's 4:15, like April 15th, we started workouts. I expect them to be there. You know what I'm saying? That we not just gonna walk away with the league championship every year without putting in the work. We gotta get better because everybody else is gonna get better. So to light a fire under them, I kind of, shut them out the gym and also kind of laid into them a little bit, light a fire, man. But they know now that, for us to maintain the success that they expect to have, we got to work, man. We got to work. And Jerron, your cousin, he had a breakout year. Sophomore, went from barely playing his freshman, he played JV his freshman year to being second team all district this year. And he
Yeah,
put in all of the work last summer to make that happen. And I'm telling him, you made this big of a leap from your freshman summer to sophomore year. Now come put in the work again so you can make
yeah,
an even bigger leap going into your junior year. But he hasn't showed up yet. But he also playing AAU. I'll
yeah.
give him the benefit of the doubt with that. But on the days that you ain't got AAU practice, you need to be there getting lifting and getting some work in because he could be a Division I player, man. He that good.
Yeah, and the guy, what's the player name that scored like 1,000 points? The light skinned guy, he was getting the dunks and stuff. Is
Micah
he?
Bays.
Yeah, he graduating.
Yep. He was a
Okay,
senior this year. Best player
okay,
I ever coached in my life, bro.
yeah,
Yep. Best player, high IQ, great family. Um, man, that transfer portal killing kids right now.
man,
He a D1 talent, bro. He a D1 talent. I would say MAC level talent for sure. But all of the coaches are waiting to see who all leave from the portal. He got a ton of D2 offers, but they starting to pull him from him because he waiting on that D1. And I'm trying to convince him, like, take who wants you right now. And then you
yeah.
might have an opportunity to get in the portal after your first year in college.
And then and that's a good thing that you are you because you play and you dominated people who were highly ranked. Like I remember y'all school putting something together for you could come to Toledo and play at the
Yep,
the Savage Hall, like and
yep,
you bought out,
yep,
so they gonna come to see you no matter where you at. Then just like we were
mhm,
discussing before this, Nate, he went to Tiffin, but he ended up going to the NFL, so they'll
yep,
come see you
yep.
wherever you at. You just got to put forth the work. What do you think the state of high school basketball is right now, and what can we do to continue to make it get better? And if it has fallen off, what can we do to get it back to its good standings?
I say this when those kids are much more skilled than we were. They're because they dribbling around cones all day. They doing drills, but they not playing. And that's what's really hurting them is that they don't have that edge and that toughness that we had back in. I think we were probably right around last of the Mohicans when it comes to really physical and still talented kids. These
Yeah,
kids are way more skilled than we are, but they are a lot more soft than we were. Um, so honestly, I think the state of basketball, depending on where you are, the city league, man, teams in the suburban lakes league or those suburban schools and Catholic schools, it ain't no way they would be signing up to play city league teams right now. But
yeah,
now the city league teams are like, oh, we need a win. Let's schedule a city league team. And that's kind of crazy to me. But a lot of those kids are running to Catholic schools now. And I think part of that is because there are no junior high athletics um, anymore like it used to be when we were there. the level that it was at is they don't have it anymore. So those kids are going to the Catholic schools to play, in 7th and 8th grade now, and it's hurting the city league tremendously. So I think the talent is still into. There's a lot of talent still in Toledo. It's just not in the city league anymore.
Yeah. What are your goals as a coach and a goal as a team for this next coming season?
My goal is always to win a championship, bro. I ain't gonna never compromise that no matter who I'm coaching. I want to infuse that confidence in every player that I coach, that
Yeah.
our goal is to win a championship. But at the end of the day, man, my job is to make sure that we creating young men that's gonna be successful in life. And I know that's cliche, but for real, that's what we out here doing, man. Me and Coach Mike, man, we intense in practice, but we all love after practice, man. I done had players come up to me and tell me, Coach, I'm ready to have sex. You know what I'm saying? What should I
Yeah.
do? How should I prepare for
Yeah.
this? That's what really makes coaching worth it, man. It's not what we do on the court, but what we produce off the court for sure.
Yeah, building them young men. The moment that really like I had chills coming through my veins, and I'm just seeing from afar when y'all won the championship how they embraced you, how you grabbed the ropes. I mean the nets, and you went towards the team just to see that, and
Mhm.
then to see the people that you got around you. The Mike Cavanaugh, I've been trying to get him on, but he's so humble. He like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just doing what I love to do. I'm like, no, bro, you making an impact because I know players you training.
Yep,
To even see you got a tree now because one of your assistants just got a job, correct?
yep,
Yeah, so
for sure.
your tree is, going like this, and they're coming from your
Mhm.
tree from being around you. So you're producing greatness, which is amazing because that's something that we need to see, man. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, man. Man, when you gotta get Cav on, bro. Cav is funny, but he's smart as hell. He gonna keep it 1,000 with you,
Yeah,
and bro, I wouldn't be honestly. You only as good as your players,
yeah,
and then you only as good as your assistant coaches. And I was blessed, bro, to have TJ, who just got the job at Maumee,
yeah,
St. John's kid that he come from a coaching family. I had his dad on staff, who was a bulldog. I had Soup on staff, who was
yeah,
a bulldog, and then I got Kavanaugh on staff. So we all rallied around. They all rallied around me to make sure that I had a successful season, and they doing whatever they can to make sure that we have the best season that we can have. Man, they do work out there with me and for me.
yeah. Yeah, last couple questions. What coaches impacted you, or coaches that really put something into you as in your career that stand out?
Um, the best coach that I ever had, hands down, is my college coach. My college coach, man, he was the person that kind of humbled me. You know what I mean? Because I had always been used to being the fastest and being able to score points, but he was the one that taught me that I didn't know everything, and he was the one that kind of got me to sit down and learn the game and get me to the places that I played. He was the main reason why I was able to become coachable.
Yeah,
Um, I still talk to Earl to this day. I mean, at the time when we played, Earl was still, we were his first coaching job for real.
yeah,
So, he wasn't really great with the X's and O's, but he was great with the discipline part of it and
yeah,
the love part of it. So we knew Earl loved us. We knew that he was going to get us to play hard. He didn't teach us much with the X's and O's, but he got the most out of us
yeah,
through, getting us to do what he asked us to do. Um, and then finally, man, I had a coach in Sweden that I absolutely hated. Bro, I hated this coach. And um, we kind of had it out to the point where they had to eventually release me.
mm,
And I learned a lot from him. And I'm the second leading scorer in the entire country of Sweden at this time.
mm,
And they eventually released me, but I learned so much from him as to how not to treat a player. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And at this time, I was coachable, doing whatever he asked me to do. But man, this dude, man, I strongly and seriously believe that he was a racist guy, and it taught me how not to treat kids and how not to take the love away from them. You know what I mean, for the game. So, shout out to that coach who was an asshole.
yeah. Man, how do you deal with, this generation and people dealing with mental different things with their identity, and even not being confident because they're worrying about what goes on, who scored this points, or not being their self and being the player that they can be. How do you handle that by still allowing them to be taught the right way, not to allow the outside noise and allow the main thing to be the main thing?
You know what, man? In my offense and my style of coaching, ain't no shot a bad shot unless it's a bad shot. So if you open, shoot it. That's my and shoot it with confidence. We work on it enough in practice, and then the people that's playing in the games are the people that I'm confident that can make that shot. So
Yeah,
those are the people that put the work in to and deserve the opportunity to be on the court and take those type of shots. I never pull a kid out for taking a shot. I never do that because I want my kids to always have the confidence to play the way that they want to play, and I don't want them looking at the sideline, whenever they do something wrong.
yeah,
When I pull a kid out, it's because it's their time to come out, never because they did something wrong. If you're doing something wrong constantly, then you probably not on the court anyway.
yeah. Lastly, before we leave, whatever comes on your heart, say something to an up and coming coach or somebody that's want to coach and even a player, whatever comes to your heart.
Man, when it come to coaching, bro, I just say, man, be patient with these kids, man. You don't want to take the love of basketball away from them. You gonna run into that regardless because you got kids that's on the end of the bench that want to play, and you got parents that want their kids to play. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, man, try and bring them joy outside of the game to make them still love basketball. You know what I mean? So, and then when it comes to the players, man, just work. That's all that I can tell you is to just work. And then it's more important. What's even more important than that is getting it done in the classroom because that plays a part on whether you get an opportunity to showcase your skills on the court. Is get it
yeah,
done in the classroom. Clinics, man, do as much learning as you can. You never know it all. I'm on YouTube every day. Kavanaugh shooting me Twitter every 10 minutes. You know what I mean? It's a continuous learning process trying to be a good coach, man. And we learn it every single day. I love the fact that so many black men are coaching in Toledo right now. We kind of
yeah,
got like this network where we all communicating with each other. You know what I mean? It ain't
yeah,
Lionel in my league and he fighting with me for a championship, but I want him to be the best coach that he can be out there. And we
yeah,
sharing ideas, every single day, even though I know that eventually he gonna get me. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
may the best man win with us, trying to make each other the best, man. Iron sharpens iron for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we thank you, man. You definitely walking in your purpose on purpose, man. Being a great leader, a great husband. The Bible says, "When a man findeth a wife, he findeth favor. He obtained favor, and that's the favor from the Lord that you getting." So,
Mhm.
just pray blessings over you, your family, your team, and just tell you to continue to do your thing, continue to walk in your purpose on purpose, man. I'm proud of you. I love you, and continue to build these young men up, and they're in great hands with you.
Man, much love, D Dub. Man, I appreciate you having me, man. Shout out to my wife for being the perfect
Yep, yep,
basketball wife.
yep,
Yep.
yep, yep. Appreciate it, man. We'll
All
be in
right,
touch.
bro. Love you, bro.
All right.
Yep. In a minute.